Agatin of Shabbos this week's Parshas Pekudei. I wanted to say something about Parshas Pekudei. Parshas Pekudei, we find the Gemara tells us that when Moshe Rabbeinu was telling over the commands about the Mishkan to Betzalel, who was in charge of the construction of the Mishkan, Betzalel corrected Moshe Rabbeinu. Moshe Rabbeinu told him the way he heard it from Hashem, with the instructions about the furnishings of the Mishkan before the actual structure of the Mishkan itself. And Betzalel corrected Moshe, and he said, one second, when you build a house, what do you do first? You build the house first, and then you worry about the furniture afterward, not the other way around. So the same thing should be with the Mishkan. And Moshe eventually concedes the point to Betzalel, and he says, you're right, and that was Hashem's intent. What is this back and forth? What was Moshe's Havamina? Why did Moshe Rabbeinu think that the furniture should come before the building of the house? And why did he eventually concede to Betzalel that he was correct? So in the Dvar Shmuel Birnbaum says, he connects this really with another idea about the famous mirrors in Parshas Vayakel. Rashi brings the medrash that tells us that Moshe's reaction when the women donated their mirrors to be used for the construction of the Mishkan, he felt that these was like a tool of vanity, and that the women used to make themselves attractive for their husbands and entice them. That was not something that was not fit for something as holy as the Mishkan. It was not appropriate for the place where the Shekhinah is going to reside. But Hashem told Moshe, no, Elu chavivan alay min hakol. No, this is actually the most precious thing of everything, because this is what kept Klal Yisrael going. It was these mirrors that Bnei Yisrael, that the women used, and that's what kept Klal Yisrael going via reproduction, even during the years of slavery and oppression in Mitzrayim, and that's what kept Klal Yisrael going. So the Dvar Shmuel says that Moshe Rabbeinu initially thought that this project, something as holy and as lofty as the Mishkan, it has to be approached in an extraordinary fashion, something that goes against the way that we live, maybe even supernaturally. An ordinary house, it's true, first you build a house and then you build the furniture. Moshe Rabbeinu thought that for the Mishkan it should be reversed, because it's not a house. This is a place of special kedusha, and the same thing with the mirrors. He felt it was not appropriate. It was something that it had no place in this holy Mishkan. He thought that it needed to transcend normal human life, the ordinary way of doing things. But Hashem says, no, that's not the correct way of doing it. Kedusha means living normally, living a normal life. Of course, within the confines of halacha and values that are taught to us by the Torah, but we pursue Kedusha not by denying ourselves of things or by being extreme. We define Kedusha by being normal within the realm of halacha. The Mishkan needed to be built with normalcy, because that's how we're supposed to live. We're supposed to live a normal life. We don't bring Shekhinah into our lives by being extreme or fanatic. That's not the way of the Torah. That's the lesson that Hashem was telling Moshe. And that is the lesson that Moshe ultimately conceded to Betzalel, that is the correct way. There's no contradiction between spiritual greatness and being normal. It's the opposite. It's by living a normal way that we realize the Torah's goal to bring the Kedusha into our ordinary, mundane activities. That is something that we should all aspire to and we should be able to do. Have a wonderful Shabbos.